third episode of All Star Talk, and we have a very interesting show tonight. We got a good few roster members who will be on the um will be here tonight for us to talk to. So I can, and we'll be starting off with one before we talk about the previous and today's show. Is if Switchblade Rage, are you there? So this, as we wait for Rage, we can actually instead we'll move on to a different interview. We'll be moving on to well, as unfortunately Mr. Blackson is not with us just yet. I'm sure he'll be here soon. So instead, we'll be moving on to Max Maximus. So Max Maximus, are you there? Hello,
Yes.
Max. It's good to hear from you. How are you?
Oh, just wonderful.
Yes, it's good to hear from you. Definitely a going to be an interesting day today for you, as today, you'll be facing off against the openweight champion, Premier Pretty, he calls himself now, in what he calls an open challenge. Of course, though, he will not be defending his title, though. As this is just a way for him to, I guess, maybe find new opponents. What do you think about the fact that the openweight champion, not defending his title, but just wanting to fight?
Whether he defends his title or doesn't defend his title makes no difference. I am the masterpiece, and that means I am the greatest professional wrestler in all of history. So I will defeat him today, and then I will gain my entryway into the championship match, and then simply take it from him and give that title the spotlight that it needs.
Now I know you since you started here in our last season, you came close to being one of the first men to actually defeat Six Machiavelli, which ended up leading to your first loss. And then after which you had at least two opportunities, which could have gotten you a direct shot for one of the titles. You had the first triple threat match, which would have. Which ended unfortunately due to a move being used that is banned here in All Star Wrestling. So you had a second opportunity, but this time Eric Rose, who we'll be hearing from a little bit later, he ended up getting the victory by pinning you. Now here you are. We're in a new season, so all records are new. So do you feel confident in yourself?
I mean, do you know who you're talking to? I'm Max Maximus. Of course, I'm confident.
Oh, well, that definitely will be interesting to see. Now, of course, even if you do beat Premier Pretty tonight, we've seen cases of Premier Pretty losing in a non-title match, but then just like with Six Machiavelli, when the title match finally came around, the champion was able to show out and defend his title. Do you feel that something maybe similar will happen, or do you think you'll be able to do what Six couldn't?
I'm not going to lie. Of course, it'll be a difficult challenge. But, like I said, I'm Max Maximus. I'm confident. And I've even faced Six Machiavelli. And yes, I have lost, but I've learned from that loss. And I've also watched the match between Six Machiavelli and Mr. Premier Pretty. And I've seen everything that Machiavelli has done wrong. So therefore, I have learned from that as well. And I will use those lessons to then defeat Mr. Machiavelli. Not Machiavelli. Premier Pretty. Sorry.
Well, that definitely will be interesting and to see, and I do wish you good luck tonight in the main event. And And we'll be moving on to our next interview. And I wish you good luck. See you later. I do.
See,
Now moving on as we still wait for our co-owner Brent Barnett. Not Brent. Oh my gosh. I'm Mr. Blackson. Sorry. I do believe that is we have next. I do believe next we have Eric Rose. Rose, are you there? All right. Well, it seems that Eric Rose is not available at the moment. As we'll move on, Dylan, we'll be hearing next from our champion, Dylan Travis. Dylan Travis. All right. It seems that some of our stars are a little bit occupied at the moment. Dylan Travis, are you there, or Eric Rose? Well, we'll be moving on to our next. Next, we'll be moving on to one half of the tag team champions, Chance Nightwalker.
Hello, 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 and
Hello.
welcome to another episode of Alpha Star Wrestling Talk. I'm Chance Nightwalker. Pleasure to
I
meet you.
believe it's All Star Wrestling. Ain't talk.
Well, that's just temporary. See, Alpha's currently taking over the company. You guys see that we've got the tag titles. It looks so amazing around my waist. Like, oh man, I don't think this is gonna go anywhere anytime soon. There was this guy that I beat up to take this. I can't remember his name. It's Brandon something or other. Nobody really cares about him. I'm pretty sure he wants it back, but it's not gonna happen. I know that Dylan Travis or Doctor Moron Walker. I don't know his name. Whatever that guy's name is, he's got the main title, doesn't he? Not for long. We're coming for that too. We'll send Caleb after it. He's pretty good at grabbing those things. So yeah,
Uh,
the A is pretty soon gonna stand for Alpha. It'll be Alpha Star Wrestling because we're all over the place.
oh,
I mean, we
you.
do have the women's title tied up too. Can't forget about that.
Oh, I didn't. I wasn't aware that Ivy Pines was a member of Alpha.
Yes, yes. She's a recent signee. I managed to get into her ear, considering that she tags with my wife here, and my wife is a member of Alpha. You know, where I
Yeah.
go, she goes. Where she goes, I go. So I was like, hey, it only makes sense. Get over here and join your partner.
Well,
So yes, now we have Poison Alpha Pine.
yes, intoxication is what they call them. Definitely interesting. Of course, we will see her later tonight, your wife, in a singles match um, against a member of BOP, the Birds of Prey, Samantha Young. Of course, Samantha Young, will have her partners at ringside. Do you feel that she will be able to defeat a member of the Birds of Prey?
Um, are you kidding me right now? Like, of course. This is Angelina Nightwalker we're talking about here. She is one of the most, if not the most dangerous women on the planet. Now I've seen Samantha wrestle. I'm not gonna take anything away from her. She's tough. But that bird better pray, otherwise she's gonna get kicked right out of the freaking sky.
Well, definitely interesting. Of course, also speaking about your alpha, I'm sure you saw our last episode where Ivy Pine ended up losing to Ivy Cyanide. Do you feel that her championship, especially with having Switchblade Rage and also it seemed having Samantha Young, all these three women all seem to be fighting for the champion at the same time. I mean, do you feel that she might be in a difficult situation?
All right. Ivy is incredibly tough. I trained her myself. I know what she is capable of, and I know her potential. And I will tell you that she has never looked any better. Now, Iva went out there and completely decimated her which was kind of funny. Like, I love watching that shit happen. I am not even gonna lie. She needs to get humbled more often. Iva Cyanide, if you are listening, Iva, however the fuck I'm supposed to pronounce your name, if you are
Well,
listening, get with me later and I will cut you a check for doing that. That was beautiful. But that's beside the point. The point is, be it Eva Cyanide, be it Switchblade Rage, be it Samantha Young, all three of them at once. Ivy loves the fight. I feel like she is in prime position right now, and we'll see whether or not anybody's actually going to be able to topple it. I think
definitely.
she might be able to just hold that belt a little longer, personally.
Definitely be
I'm not just
interesting.
saying that because she's out for.
Mhm.
Totally not.
Well, definitely be interesting to see if she can continue holding it as we will be then. Now, I do want to also talk about the fact you are one half of the tag team champion. You were finally the tag team able to dethrone the very long reign of the Baltimore's finest. Of I believe it was 125 plus days, and while it was in a fatal four-way elimination match, the match did end with your team Alpha against Baltimore's finest. Now, do you feel that that up to this point, the tag champions beforehand did not have didn't have to defend in a multi-man match, and every time they defended, it was 2v2. Do you feel that when the time comes, once you have to go into that rematch with the former tag champ, that you may not be able to defeat them?
Nope.
Hello, everybody.
And here is the co-owner, Mr. Blackson. Hello, sir.
How you doing? How you doing?
Pleasure to see you, sir.
Nice to see you. Good to see everybody's here today.
To answer your question, no, I do not feel that way in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Baltimore's finest is a good team. I use that term loosely, but what they are not, myself and Demented, they are not Alpha. They are not Salvation. Demented and I have chemistry out of the wazoo. Between myself, him, and Caleb, the three of us, you put any two of us together and we can overcome just about anything.
Uh,
They had their opportunities. They came close. Baltimore's finest managed to put them down, but the one thing that made the difference was me. So once it gets right back around and they come back for their rematch to try to reclaim what was theirs but now belongs to myself and Demented, all you're going to see is history repeat itself. They're all short. As a matter of fact, it's going to go down exactly like this. Brandon Ace, we're going to take out of the picture immediately just because he's not a threat. We're going to double team Michael Carter and his enormous five head until nobody wants to watch a freaking movie on that thing. And then we'll get back to work on Brandon to finish the match. I'll let Demented end it. He'll probably just make him tap out, lock him in dementia, let him feel crazy a little bit. And then we'll go party all night long, celebrating, hoisting titles up for everybody to see. Because Alpha's here and we're not going anywhere. Get used to it.
Well, that's a very interesting here. You say Brandon Ace is no threat, but he has shown that he even without his partner he can get things done. In our previous season before we everything got reset, Brandon Ace was undefeated in singles action. No one had defeated him one on one. So do you feel? Don't you think you might be overlooking him?
Has Brandon Ace fought me one on?
I do not recall if you guys had a one-on-one match.
I'll answer that for you. No, he has not. And that is the only reason why he has not had a blemish on his record. Brandon Ace cannot beat me, and he knows it.
Mm.
Be it singles, tags, it doesn't matter. I've got his number, and when those titles are on the line, Brandon, guess what, buddy? I'm calling. Pick it up.
Ms. Blaston, do you have any questions for the one half of our current tag team champions?
No, not at the moment. I don't.
All right. Well, I do know we do have Brandon Ace here with us. Brandon Ace, would you like to say anything to the tag champions?
Listen here, Chance Nightwalker, Daywalker, whatever the fuck your last name is, doesn't really matter. You can you can pretend this is all fun and games, but you and that silver-haired, milf-loving clown Cinderella story is gonna come to an end when me and my partner are gonna cash in our rematch clause and once again become the first ever two-time All-Stars Tag Team Champion because we are taking back what's rightfully ours. And we don't give a shit about Alpha because you're just like any other faction, over fucking rated.
That sounds nice. You know what else sounds? Donuts. Hey, can somebody give me some donuts over here? Like stat. I want to eat these so that way the next time that Brandon talks when I laugh, I can spit crumbs in his face.
Of course, always you with the comedic jokes. See, this is why I can't take you seriously. And for starters, here's the thing. You said I can't beat you, but the same can't be said about your singles record when before it got reset. Like, you haven't been really doing that very well in singles competition. That's why I call you the ultimate jobber. Because you have the talent, no doubt, but you like to joke around and have fun instead of actually taking wrestling seriously. You see, if you took it seriously, maybe you actually got some wins under your belt in singles. Yes, you two did win the tag team titles, but only because it was a fatal four-way match. Now, when the ground's even, we're gonna see what happens. Will you step up to the plate or will you choke?
I'll answer that for you, Brandon. I am definitely going to choke, all right? I'm going to wrap both of my hands firmly around your throat, and I'm going to choke you until you can't stand. That's exactly what I'm...
I don't believe that's legal in a match.
Oh,
It's a submission hold. It's called strangulation. I was just like, it's kind of like my subjugation kick, only it's the strangulation choke. So I'm gonna pin him in the ring and just with my fingers right around his throat and sit there until he blacks out, and then we win by default because he can't do anything.
Good luck. Good luck trying to do that. Good luck trying to do that with my knee gets to your skull and you end up being unconscious. Or I'll just put you in the iron ring and pretty much tap you out.
Yeah.
I don't know, Brandon. I've dealt with people like DHJ. We saw what happened to him. He ended up leaving the company after a loss to me. There was a Brad choked him out. There was a lot of people that came along telling me things that they were going to do, and usually they came up short. So far, there's only been one person who told me they were going to kick my ass that actually did it, and all credit goes to Malefic Malcolm Black. I'll get back to him.
Wait, Malcolm Black, you mean Malcolm Black? Oh, you mean those guys? You do realize what we did to them, to the Fallen Kingdom? We left Malcolm Black bloodied in a pool of his own blood, and we were champs.
Congratulations. Very, very well done on that. But you won't do the same to me. As a matter of fact, when the footing is even and it comes time to dance, we'll see whether you and Michael Carter's two left feet can actually stand in the same line against me and Demented. You see, my MILF-loving compatriot has already promised your mother one hell of a celebration, and you know he's not one to disappoint.
Sure, we'll
Get the
see.
confetti ready, Brandon. You're gonna have a new stepdad.
Yeah, good luck with that. Hold up.
Well, definitely interesting situation right there. Ms. Blackson, you got anything to say on the how the tag team division is looking?
Oh, it's looking great. Definitely. I'm proud of our tag teams. A lot of fire, a lot of passion, and I'm looking forward to the future of this tag team for sure. Especially out of these two competitors here. Definitely looking forward to see it.
Definitely would be interesting. I mean, in your opinion, once we finally see this match happen, Alpha versus Baltimore Finest, I mean, we know that Alpha was finally able to do it in the Fatal 4-Way, but do you think they have the ability to do it, just against the former champions?
Oh, that's hard to say. Both of them they tear it up. So this is definitely this is gonna be one to watch. The one on one tag teams going at it. Oh, it's gonna be explosive, and I'm very very excited to see what happens.
Oh, it'd definitely be interesting. I do want to, real quick before we let you go, Brandon Ace, I do want to ask you, since about your I believe the woman you trained, Amber Young, her winning the women's tag team titles. Unfortunately, last time we saw her, she ended up losing to one member of the BOP. How do you feel? What is her mindset right now, going from having that big victory to still losing, still being unable to get a victory on her own?
Well, I wouldn't say it's not. It's kind of hurting her a little bit, but now that the records have been reset, she's all focused on cleaning up her mistakes and getting back on the winning side, both singles and tag.
All right. Well, I definitely you cannot wait to see that when we see her have her match. Of course, her partner will be having a match here tonight. I will be seeing her go up against Lita Nightwalker, so it definitely will be interesting to see who will get the victory there.
Agreed.
Well, I do can't wait to see you back in the ring. And do you have any words about maybe when you will be wanting to have your rematch?
Like I said, it's coming, but I'm very, I'm very smart when I'm gonna cash it in because Alpha, well, Chance and Demented, they're gonna be playing by my rules.
And speaking of your team, we have you heard from your partner?
Sadly, I haven't. I don't know where the hell he's been at.
Well, I do hope you
Well,
find him soon. But
agreed.
but we're going to be moving on here. Can't wait to see you back into the ring, and I thank you for joining us.
Agreed.
The same with
Agreed.
Nightwalker.
Now, if you excuse me, I gotta head to a gym. Gotta get my body ready.
It's always a pleasure. I'm gonna go take this nice shiny title that I've got here right on over there to the donuts. Thank you for finally bringing them in, you wonderful stagehand, you.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Well, moving on, we'll be moving on here, and things have been getting very interesting. Speaking of rematches, Mr. Blessing, do you have something to say? Because we have a bit of a new rule here in All Star, and I think I would like you to be the one to tell everybody about how we'd be doing rematches from now on.
The way the rematch is, if you successfully defend it once, you automatically have a rematch clause in place. If you was able to defend it once, at least one time.
That is right. That means anyone who is unable to, who does not get a rematch. So unfortunately, that would mean the man we'll be seeing later tonight, Crypto, will not get a rematch due to the fact that he was on. Well, actually, he actually did defend the title technically, as he ended up having to defend against in a steel cage match before the six-way. So he actually still does actually have a rematch. So I would be interested to see when that will happen. But uh, it definitely will make things a lot more interesting and maybe even make the champions even fight harder than before. Or don't you think?
Oh, definitely. Oh, most definitely.
Speaking of champions, or actually, I would like to get with Eric Rose. Are you here?
Finally, I am.
Uh,
My
d-
goodness, traffic was horrible and
uh,
technical difficulties and all that other stuff.
well, we are in a city, so traffic isn't always the best. But I am glad you're here, and I do believe you have some things you have to say, with you being the winner of the triple threat, which I want to congratulate you because you winning that match. After not being successful in the Ragnarok match, you were able to still win yourself an opportunity for either the open weight title or the All Star Wrestling title, which was and you did it in pretty quick succession. Before we get more into it, Blackson, do you have anything you want to say to Eric Rose?
Oh, I am proud to say of what he has done here. You know, he's a champion. He fought his way up. and definitely looking for good things for him in the future for sure.
Well, great word from from Mr. Blackson. So Eric Rose, do you have anything to say about your victory, or maybe what title you'll be going for?
Hmm. It's funny that Mr. Blackshin should say about my future. Ever since that, what I call shocking victory at that match, I've been thinking long and I've been thinking really, really hard about this decision. Because on one end, we have the Openweight Championship, something I was this close to getting. It was right in my fingertips, but then it just vanished. And then we have the World Championship, something that I'm still getting used to winning, but would still love to have in my hands. Which is why I only have 2 words to say. World Championship.
Oh,
Wow.
I, Eric Rose, the Wicked One, am officially putting my name into the world title picture. I have fought too long and too hard just to let an opportunity like this go to waste. And now I hear that a certain somebody of my past has that gold.
that is
Wow.
that is right. Dylan Travis, who was able to walk out of Ragnarok, not only having the most pinfalls, but doing it mostly by submission. Dylan Travis himself, member of the Fallen Kingdom.
It is blatantly obvious that Dylan Travis has greatly improved not only his skills, but his moveset as well since my last encounter with him. Even though I was mentally doubting myself at our last encounter, I now have confidence. So, Dylan, you claim. I mean, I still see the little fallen kingdom still trying to prosper. Well, let me just give you this really crystal clear message right here and right now. When the time comes and I'm standing in that ring face to face with you one more
Well,
time,
the time's now. You're face to face with me. What's up?
Oh shit! Well, here he is himself, the new All Star Wrestling champion, Dylan Travis. Welcome.
Thank you for having me as always.
I see you're still walking around with that aura of overconfidence as usual, Mr. Travis.
Overconfidence, eh? And that's why I pinned 5 of the men in that match. That's why I tapped out the majority of the men in that match. But what have you been doing, Eric? Eh? I haven't saw your name around here in All Star.
Oh, that's because I've been plotting. I've been plotting and scratching and clawing my way out of the bottom of the barrel here in All Star Wrestling, just to get another shot at you.
Well, I'm going to be the guy to break it to you right now. When someone scrapes at the bottom of a barrel, it means that they're not needed. They're not thought about. And Eric, I don't want to do this to you because I've supported you since the early days of GPW when you came and dethroned me. But it's going to be a little bit of a spoiler. It's not last season. It's a new season. It's a new Dylan Travis and Eric. The start of the year, we're in fresh, and I'm already holding 2 championships, my friend. Where are your world championships, Eric?
Oh, my world championships? Safely guarded where nobody will ever try to take it.
Where are they safely guarded? What is your thing with being so dark and mysterious? What is this? I feel like we're in some type of Hollywood movie where you're the vampire and I'm the slayer. I think that's the way we could work with this story. Because obviously you're calling me out, saying that you're going to go for my world championship. So I'm just going to put it on the table how things are going to go. You're going to come and try and hit that running knee, that big finisher to me. And then I'm just going to step aside and do the job that I should have done in GPW, but obviously it slipped through my hands. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to reclaim my gold once again. I'm going to retain, and I'm going to hold my championship up above my head as the referee says, and still world champion. And you're not going to do anything about it, Eric, because it's not fairy tales anymore. You had your fairy tale run, and I'm going to be the one to end it.
Wow, that definitely it sounds. This is definitely becoming quite an interesting situation, don't you say, Mr. Blackson?
Oh man, what can I say about this? This gonna be the match to see. This main event of all main events gonna happen here.
Yes,
Two
and I.
big two gonna clash head to head. Oh, I'm just saying, if they gonna go at it, they should just throw the rule book out and just go all out. That's just my opinion.
So are you saying that this match between these two should have no rules?
Should to me, I think it should be extreme rules only. No holds bar. That's just my opinion, though. I'm just saying.
Well,
You know,
what do you two say about this?
I say Eric's a big pussy. That's what I say.
oh, so now you think I'm a coward?
I think you're a massive vagina, my friend.
See, this is what you don't get about me. Extreme rules matches, no holds barred matches. It's been my bread and butter ever since I first joined CAW. Ever since I first gotten my hands on the likes of steel chairs and kendo sticks and tables, no holds barred matches is where the wicked in me truly comes out. And now you say that I'm still a big coward?
Massive.
Then fine.
Like massive vagina. That's what you
Fine.
are. Like a big pussy. That's what you are, Eric.
Fine then.
Because you say you're this wicked guy, when really you're just a little boy. You're playing in the heavyweight division. I'll say this again. I've said it in the past. You shouldn't be playing with guys like me. Hey, you luckily got that championship in GPW, and kudos to you. I'll give you props. But
Lucky?
right now,
Lucky.
lucky.
Try
100%,
skilled.
100% lucky. Can we just rewind to who got the first pinfall in our latest championship match? Moi. And who had to scrape their way of the bottom of the barrel to somehow get them 2 lucky victories. It's not like that anymore, Eric. This is what I'm trying to say to you. Friend to rat. This is what I'm saying. It's a new season. It's a new Travis. Last year, I said it's the year of Travis. This year, it's also still the year of Travis. Things don't change. Things don't change. And Eric, I just really wish you'd understand this, but I understand people have got small brains, and you're just one of them.
And I really, really
Minuscule, like really
wish
small.
that you.
Like you
And
can't
I
even see
really
it.
wish.
Magnifying glass. You need to see it.
And I really wish that you would stop being so blind to reality. Don't you get it?
I wish that I had a Lamborghini in my garage, and I don't. Wishes don't all come true, my friend.
Yeah, kind of like yours, because your wish is never gonna come true.
My wish, my friend, is me to hold the ASW World Championship. And guess what? You ready? You ready for this one? You're going to be surprised. I'm holding it. Where's your world championship, Eric? Oh, that's it. You don't have one because I'm champion. I beat the 5 other men for the belt. You didn't, Eric. Bottom of the barrel. That's all you're ever gonna be. You're gonna be the little cruiserweight boy who comes along in his little pack lunch in his school bag, looking to make an appearance on a show. And hell of it, you will sometimes, but now it's just not the time. Just run along. Go back to catering. Offer your assistants. You never know. You might be good at making food. I don't really give a shit. I'm holding the world championship, Eric. There's nothing you can do about it.
Well,
It's blatantly obvious that I cannot convince you that you're fighting a losing battle. So I'll let the gods decide your fate.
Amen.
And
Amen,
I'll
bro.
let fate
Amen.
lead me to facing you once again. Where I'll finally kick your ass once again, take your crown, and give you
1 second,
an
Eric.
unhappily ever after.
Eric, 1 second. Please can we all applaud Eric for his speech there? Just, guys, I can't hear this applaud. Why do you not think Eric has just spoke a good amount? That he's so convincing.
oh, he definitely sounds confident that he has the ability to put you
Really good.
down and take
Oh,
the
I think-
championship.
Because he's completely forgotten that I've beaten him before
Completely
twice,
forgotten when I
and
just
I will
stated it before.
gladly beat
Oh.
him again.
Yeah, bet you will. Yeah.
Well,
But
I
like I
think
said, I can't convince him verbally, so I'll convince him in that ring, in a no-holds-barred match or an Extreme Rules match, leave
Eric,
him
make
on
me
the
bleed.
ground,
I want to
face
taste my blood
down,
again.
and take
I want to
his
taste the iron
crown.
in my blood. I haven't tasted it in a while. And Eric, I swear, if
Well-
you don't make me bleed in this match, I'm gonna squish you like a little bug that you are once again. I'm
Well-
gonna put you to that ring post where I'm speaking. I'm gonna squish your head against the ring post, and after I've done that, I'm gonna call the funeral parlor myself and order that wooden casket that I should have ordered last time, but I just never did. I'm going to kill a man, guys, and I don't think I'm going to be an active member of the roster because I'm going to go to prison. I'm going to go to jail.
Well, wow. I think we've definitely got an agreement between the two. It sounds like that this match between these two, whenever it's going to be, Dalen Travis versus Eric Rose in an Extreme Rules match or no hold barred. I guess we're gonna have to get this paperwork so these two can sign it off.
I'll sign it anyway. You know, I don't know about that little pussy boy if he'll show up. You know, the little kid that he is. Might
As
have to
for
ask parents' permission. Don't forget to ask for that. You know.
Well, as for when this will be, we'll find out when this title match is. Of course, we do know eventually Crypto, he still has his title rematch, as he was able to defend his title after he cashed in against Lance Romance. He went off and defended it against a member of Alpha in a steel cage match. So that means Crypto is still viable for a rematch, which we will hopefully get to see soon. Of course, as we will be seeing him later tonight against Eric Rose. Oh, so that will definitely be a great match, and this is just a very interesting situation, Mr. Blackson.
Yes, definitely.
Uh,
I'm definitely looking to see what's going to happen.
Me too. As we will be moving on next, as we before we end up talking about these shows, I would like to bring out Daisuke Kenichiro. Are you here? Daisuke Kenichiro? I believe
I'm here.
Hello. Thank you for joining us here on All Star Talk. And I gotta say, I want to congratulate you on the time have here. Even though we have restarted the record, you were able to maintain your undefeated streak through onto this new season, being I believe it was 3-0. You have been on a tear since coming here. What do you have to
Yes.
say?
Well, my time I've been here in GPW, I know it's been like constant wins nonstop. I mean, in here, All Star that is. But yeah, I've been multiplying my wins nonstop here, and it has been giving me a lot of things to think about. Title opportunities, what I'm going to do next. I mean, you can ask me a lot of questions right now.
Well, I do. I mean, in Mitch Braxton, I think I would like. Do you have any questions for Daisuke?
Um, um, I, I can say I'm looking to see how everything's turning out right now. I have no questions right now, but definitely looking forward to see what's going to happen.
Well,
You go right there on Lexington Street.
uh, well, Daisuke, I do know you mentioned championships as you continue getting these victories. Do you have a title that you have in sight?
Well, right now, inside of All Star right now, I do have my eye on a certain championship right now. And that being said, I know everyone wants the World Championship, but I am going for the Openweight Championship.
Well, that is very interesting. I know we will be seeing the openweight champion later today. I'm guessing you will definitely be having your eyes set out on that. I'm I'm sure you'll be very much watching the champ as he's setting up these open challenges. But unfortunately, he will not be defending his title in these challenges.
Yes.
He'll just be uh, they'll be all non-title. Do you feel the champion is trying to avoid defending his title by doing open challenges without the title?
Yes, because considering I have been having multiple matches besides him, he's deciding to do an open challenge. I see nothing wrong with that though, but technically, I do have one problem with that. If you got an open challenge going on, how come you don't have the title on the line, regardless? That's my whole problem right there with that decision. But when it comes to me, I want the title match there in front of me.
Well, definitely an interesting statement. I'm sure you've been having a great time here with this being us being in your home country of Japan, and maybe
Yes.
I'm guessing that may be giving you a little bit more energy to even try harder than you normally do.
Oh, definitely it is. And for the champion, by the way, I know he's hearing me right now. I know he's hearing, and I know I'm watching him right there in that ring for open challenge. So I'm gonna have to send a message loud and clear to him that when I get the chance to face him for that title, whether he does open challenges, not put title on line or not, I'm gonna be champion, openweight champion. That is. And when I do, I'm gonna make sure every single person earns their way and gets a title opportunity against me. Without respect to everyone on his roster.
Well, definitely a interesting sight, and I thing here to say, and I can't wait to see what you do in this new season as we get going. And I do continue wishing you the best of luck, and we will hope to hear from you the next time.
Definitely. By the way, the person that does try to motivate me to be my best and do my best is Tommy Suzuki. I'm sure you guys know who that is, by the way.
Yep,
And
our one half of our
yes,
first ever women's champion, who we'll be hearing here
yes.
soon.
Mhm. She motivates me trying to do my best and be my best I can, trying to improve inside the ring and be the champion of this company. I mean, I signed up to ASW because I wanted to do better and I wanted to elevate this whole company. And that's why I plan on doing, starting with the Openweight Championship.
All right. Well, I can't wait to. Well, if you do get that opportunity, I do wish you the best of luck, and we will see you next time.
That's for
Thank
sure.
you.
Because I know we're going to see a lot of you soon for sure.
Thank
Very
you.
much. Uh,
Thank you so much.
well,
Thanks for
thank you
having me
for
right here,
coming.
guys.
Well, that was very interesting here to see, and we will be bringing out our last roster member before we go into talking about last show and the show we'll be having today. Tabizuki, are you here?
I'm here.
Hello, hello. Oh, first, I wanted to say congratulations on becoming the first ever to win the Starlets Tag Team Championship.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Blessing, do you have anything you would like to say?
I'm definitely proud of this tag team. One of my favorite tag teams, to be honest. Um, I've been watching Tommy career across the feds, and definitely a fan. So I'm looking forward to see what's next on their
More
network.
gold. That's just it. More gold. More wins. Stay undefeated and do my best.
Mm.
Because at the moment, I am probably the best out there right now. Like, I'm probably better than this Kendall Rose girl, whoever she is. Right now, in ASW, I am one half of the Scarlet Tag Team Champions. But outside of ASW, I have 3 other titles, very successful, undefeated in all my companies, never been beaten. No girl can pin me, submit me, or knock me out. I am currently the BCW Women's Champion. I am the Empress Champion, and I'm also the ACW Hardcore Women's Champion, and your Scarlet, one half of the Tag Team Champion.
Well,
And I only been here. You know what's crazy about this? I have all these titles, and I've only been here for 4 months. 4 months. In 4 months, I came here and I've taken over just like that. Just proving I'm the best.
well, you definitely have shown how good you are. I do want to real quick speak about it. I'm sure Blackson is also interested to hear about it. About when you won, when you and your partner won the title, it was by how some would say controversial means. What do
No, honestly, there's nothing controversial about my wins in ASW. Simple as that. The ref knew who he wanted to represent the company, and he made me and my partner win. That's just it. The other girls in the company could say whatever they want to say. At the end of the day, I'm for the title. It
well,
doesn't matter.
so you
And
feel
they can say, oh, they got the pin first. But guess what? I won.
well, the match did end by your partner supposedly tapping out G.I. Jane, but some say that the ref should not have made the call due to him not. Some say that Jane was already out of the hole before the ref was even looking that direction. Blasha, do you have anything to say about that match and how it ended?
Well, yeah, it says it's a controversy, and I understand that. But what happens is it's in the books, and what's in the books is in the books.
And what's in the books is I'm the best and I'm the tag team champion.
What's going to have to happen soon is they're going to have to defend the belt sooner or later, and we'll see what happens.
Listen, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. On that defending part, all these girls in ASW talking about how we're flukes and whatnot, but I don't see a single team stepping up to challenge us in a tag match. Like, ever since we won these tag titles, we've only been in single competition. Like, I'm about to fight again to win again, but none of these tag teams in ASW have stepped up to talk to the tag champions about getting a title match or anything like that. They're all talk, but no fight. And it makes me really sick. And also, since I am the tag champion, I honestly would say open challenge. Next show, matter of fact. We will defend our tag titles against any team that thinks it can beat us. Because I'm tired of you saying it's a fluke. We don't fluke around here. We're going to beat you, retain our titles, and then the next day, we're going to go out for margaritas in the sun. We're probably going to go back to Japan because, my home. And we're going to sit there and have a nice margarita while just looking at all of our fans pass by our hotel, waving at us, telling us how great we are.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Amber's hearing all this and she's looking at it, telling me like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you saying something like that? Wouldn't it have been easier to let these men's tag teams earn the opportunity? Don't do an open challenge. Like what?
You know what, Amber, you're right. You know what? I'm sorry. My ego got ahead of me. You're right. Honestly, Amber, you're right. I rebuke the open challenge. We're gonna have if ASW management lets us do it.
I don't know.
Amber, this is okay with you. I would like to host a tag team title, no more contendership. But here's the hunt. There will be 3 teams, and what's a nice little match that's different from the rest? Ooh, there will be 3 teams in a table elimination match, and the winner could face me and Amber for the tag titles and a special match to be announced.
Well, that's kind of up to management, not
Well,
us. You know.
I
well,
know.
Blackson.
I'm just putting it in management's
Hey,
mind.
that sounds like a plan to me. Let's go ahead and get this.
All right, well then it seems like it's official. Next week we will see 3 tag teams that face each other off in a triple threat tag team match, and the winner will face the current tag team champions, the Blasian Baddies, in a certain match that they are yet to reveal yet.
Yeah.
Now,
Like Amber doesn't know that either. Like you need to start. Okay, Amber needs to start talking to you.
And also, I know I'm in a tag team right now. Me and Amber, we're doing great because we're champions. But I want to say all to the solo competitors out there, just because I'm in a tag team doesn't mean I won't step into the solo division, because I am coming for the ASW Women's Championship. And I will be a Tommy 2 belts in ASW. But in my career, I will be a Tommy 5 belt.
Help.
And to any woman out there that thinks they can beat me, a Tommy Zuki, come on then. Because none of you have yet to do it. Because when I'm in that locker room, all I get is disrespect and disrespect. When none of you can step up to the plate and beat me.
definitely.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was over here gouging down on these amazing cream-filled donuts. I think it had chocolate in it. Like, where did you get those? Anyway, that's beside the point.
Oh yeah,
I heard some ludicrousness over here come out of a mouth. I'd like to see you beat my wife.
Well, actually, we have that match tonight. We'll be seeing Atami
I want to
Azuki
see it.
go up
Listen
against.
to me. Your wife isn't even woman enough to step up to me. So when I beat her up tonight, you're going to have to be rubbing her toes tonight because her feet are going to be sore. And I bet you need an ice pack because I'm definitely going to hit the falling star, not on her chest, but I plan on landing on her face with my elbow.
Well, I'm going to agree with you on one thing. I am definitely going to be rubbing her toes after her match tonight because they are going to go across your face so fucking quickly that you're going to wonder what hit you. That kick of hers is sinister. Her teeth are going to be in the front row.
My teeth are going to be in the front row. Listen, it's so sweet of you to be a good husband and talk about your wife like that. But I'd rather have your wife fight her own battles. So guess what? If you can get your wife to say that to my face, then
I'll just let her do it in the ring. That's a little better.
You're coming at me right now. I want you ringside. I want you ringside to watch your wife get beat up. You come down to the ring with your wife tonight. Just to watch her.
Jesus.
You realize I'm going to be sitting in the front row like I always am.
No, I don't want you in the front row. I want you right next to the ring. Where
no, see, you're going to have to deal with the ASW Women's Champion ringside.
ASW Women's Champion?
Unfortunately, the champion is not in the building, so she will not be at ringside.
Listen here.
She's totally there.
Listen, the champion isn't even active in the locker room. It's so sad. Like if I'm
Atami, Amber says calm down. Please just calm down. Jesus.
Listen, Amber. You know,
very heated situation, Blackson.
Listen, Amber. Honestly, you are my tag partner. Respect you, love you. But every woman in this company is below me and you. And that's on period.
Well, she wouldn't say that because, well, Ivy and her have history. Chance can, vouch for that.
Yeah, I have a cyanide.
Very true. Very true.
I have a cyanide girl in the companies I'm in. Look, You guys book me against her in every single company I am. I know it's probably just
I can't
coincidence,
say that.
but in every company I get booked against this girl named Iva Sinai, and she just can't get the job done. It's sad. It really is
Well,
Um,
sad.
Cyanide was
we
able to beat the main champion in our
we
last
we were
show.
we were
Yeah, but I
talking
beat
about
Iva all the
IV, not
time. Like,
Iva.
if
Oh,
you're gonna
IV
if you're
with a
gonna
Y.
give competition to the champion, I just give real competition. We don't need an easy win. We don't need the Fiend versus freaking Daniel Bryan again.
Oh,
Like, honestly, we don't need this Tamina versus Cameron. Listen, the champion is a champion, and yes, she's supposedly the best in the
okay.
company. But
Yeah.
I'm here now, and I'm making my
Atomic.
comeback. This is
Atomic.
yes.
And it's okay. I get what you're trying to say, but let's focus on being tag champs before we focus on other stuff. Like focus one thing at a time. Don't just
Listen,
put
Amber,
your one eggs in a
well,
basket. All
I
your eggs in one basket.
Amber. In Japan, where I come from, we don't focus on one thing at a time. We focus on everything around us and everything happening. I have succeeded in getting those tag titles, and now that I've completed this mission, I'm gonna keep the tag titles with you. I promise you that. But
Cough, cough. No, she's
I
not.
also
Cough,
have a side quest of getting that
This is so
World News
weird.
Champion.
This
well,
is okay, Anderson. This is a weird thing. Like we're a team. You gotta realize the tag team. It doesn't say you are holding all the tag team belts. Me and you are. We work as a team. We gotta
Yes,
work
we are a
together.
team. Yes, we are a team.
well, I don't want. Unfortunately, I have to stop y'all here. This is a very interesting situation. Maybe this will continue, but we must move on as we do. Me and Blackson have to talk about the show. Oh, I do thank you all
Fair
for
enough.
joining us, and I hope to hear more about
Same.
this. This is actually a very interesting situation going on.
Hold on, before I leave, before I walk backstage to get ready for my match tonight, I have one thing to say,
All right.
and that is I am the Atomic Queen, Atamizuki, and I'm about to explode on the whole entire call division. And
Well,
you can believe that. Thank you.
well, thank you for joining us, and we'll be seeing you all later. My gosh, that's an interesting situation, Blackson.
Definitely interesting.
Do
Just
you
what I
guys have
thought
any
was
more of
gonna
those
happen.
chocolate filled donuts?
Uh,
I didn't mean to interrupt. Those things are really good, man. I need more of them. I'll be over here. I'll be over here.
all right.
Uh,
Well, now that we've gotten through that very interesting situation, I think we will be moving on, finishing this show up with us talking about the previous episode as well as today's episode. And but my gosh, what let's first start off on our last
Eh,
episode of the last season. Oh,
Excuse me.
set.
Excuse me. Before you start anything, I would like to remind y'all, I am Six Machiavelli, and I am coming back. Right now, I'm dealing with an injury that really just hindered me for coming into the roster currently to employ my chaos, but I'm here in Japan. I'm here having a good time. And I'm here to see what the roster does for tonight because I'm watching and I'm healing up to make my return back here in ASW.
Well, it's terrible to hear that you ended up getting an injury, and we do hope you heal very well and as fast as possible.
hmm
Well,
I just wanna like chime in before everyone disappears because I have to hear through that whole chatter about the solid championship. Good Lord, women are chatty as fuck.
a very interesting situation. The more interesting news coming out. Don't you say, Mr. Blackson? It'll definitely be interesting to see when Six will be able to make his return.
oh, definitely looking forward to it for sure.
Yes. Well, Six, we hope you heal, and we hope they see from you sooner rather than later.
I hope so too. That's just the roster, don't pray for me for my return because when I return back, I am going for that world championship.
Hey, I'm Grandpa.
Okay. Um, well, that definitely can't wait to see that. The six calling out the world champion, and definitely whoever holds it by the time six comes back will definitely be an interesting situation. Now thank you for joining us for this time, six. So as that we'll be now moving on though now to what we were about to talk about. Blackson, we on our last episode we started things off with a with an interesting match between the current openweight champion, uh currently known now as Premier Pretty, went up against one half of SCV, uh Kyle Young, and it ended with the champion getting the victory. Now, if you do know the history between these two, when the champion lost his title and the first time to Kota Imwe, the Kota and Kyle Young were going to have a non-title match, and this was before they were tag teaming. And during on the day of the show, the now two-time champion ended up showing up and last minute made the match a triple threat where he was able to win his title back and become the first and only ever two-time openweight champion. What did you think of that situation?
Oh, that was a interesting situation right there, and I'm looking to see what happened next on that because that I'm definitely is not going to end there. I'm looking
Definitely.
to see what's going to happen beyond this point.
No, definitely. Moving on from that, we had we already knew Daisuke Kenichiro had a match with the Italian Madman Franco Ricci, where Daisuke continued his undefeated ways, getting a victory. I gotta say, we just heard from Daisuke. We know what his plan is, but I want to talk more about Franco, because you've spoken good about Franco, but it seems that Franco is having a hard time. He never, as far as I remember, he never once could get a victory when it at least came to singles action. Was doing pretty well whenever he had a partner for Reckless Intent, but due to the constant not title, the partner changes, he ended up going back to singles where he just couldn't get a good footing. Do you think that now with us in a new season and all everyone having starting with a fresh record, do you think things are going to be much different with him?
I think once he stepped back and figure out what path he wants to go as a single competitive, he will get better. He's so used to having this partner that I think without his partner there is distracting him. But once he can get this, take a step back, think about what's going on, which direction he wants to go. I think he'll get better and get back on track.
That definitely will be interesting to see when we see him come back. Moving on, Starlight Action. Very interesting situation we had here. Now we maybe were under the impression going into this match we had Aubrey the Spitfire going up against Dawn Lightning Knight, or better known as the Watcher of ASW. Classic David versus Goliath. Of course, with Aubrey being much smaller than Dawn. But and we thought her going to the match, we thought she may have been injured due to what happened to her at Ragnarok when she got brutally beat and quite quickly by Switchblade Rage. If you do remember back in that match, we saw her not when Switchblade Rage hit the jugular vein knee strike into Aubrey, it caused her with such force that it actually sent her into the bottom rope. And we might thought she might have had a concussion or some very bad head injury. But when we got to the match, Aubrey, if I remember right, quickly defeated Dawn. Won the match. Do you think that after that loss something sparked in her?
I think so. I think she it popped on like it's time to get serious and start doing what you're doing now. And I think that's where it stems from right then and there.
Yeah, Very interested to hear. Now, moving on from that tag team action, both of these teams had great moments around the end around the end of the season. We had, of course, Alpha, the current tag team champion. They, of course, were able to get the titles after numerous bad luck of trying to get titles and losing big matches, and then finally they ended things off with winning those titles. And then we have the core who were able to get a victory at Ragnarok, where they defeated the team of Tiny and Shogun, who were who were both by themselves great, and it seemed that together they were also a great tag team. And we had those two tag teams go up against each other, and in that match, it was. Alpha who got the victory, but the core, of course, they didn't fall easy. It was quite an even match. What do you have to say after when you saw that match?
Blown away. Like almost candidate for match of the year already. Just totally blown away. They went at it. They went to war, and Core laid everything on the line. They just came up just a little too short. I guess they're gonna have to dig deep if we want to cross that finish line.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll have to see what they do, as we do believe we'll be seeing them later tonight. And we'll talk more about that later. Going back into the Starlets division, we have G.I. Jane met the former and first ever Starlets champion. A former champion. She took on the current one half of the Starlet Tag Team Champions, Amber Young, and it ended with the former champion winning, beating her. And of course, we heard multiple times from not just her but other people, but very much her. It was her who tapped out to Amber Young, but she said that the rest should never have saw that, and it should not have ended at that point. Do you think she proved her point when she got a victory over Amber?
I think she did. We're about to see what happened next, but I think she did prove a point that she's serious. She's ready to go take the next step. So yeah, I believe she did.
So, and do you think it's a very big possibility that she will be in that triple threat next week?
We'll see. It could be a possibility. You never know.
Well, we will definitely see which three teams will be in that match, but very big possibility that BOP will be a part of it. Moving on, triple threat match. Already know who the winner of this was: Max Maximus, Nick Nitro, and Eric Hale, who Rose, who ended up winning the match. And as we already heard, he will be going for that world championship, and we don't know when we will be, as we don't know when that will be the case, but we do know already, due to your suggestion, it will be an Extreme Rules match. I do want to just real quick, since how do you think this, do you think this really changed something in Eric Hale getting that big victory after, of course, we had this was a match that happened at Ragnarok, but instead it had Austin Collins, but then it changed with Eric being added to the match due to Austin trying to win the match with a banned move.
Well, say it again.
How do you feel that do you think this is really sparking something in Eric, going from losing at Ragnarok to, getting the opportunity thanks to Austin trying to win the triple threat match with a banned move, and the match had to get reset with Eric in it. This really gave him a big opportunity. Do you think he's definitely, unlike Ragnarok, he's definitely going to do whatever it takes to win?
I think now that he got a second chance, that yes, he's going to give it his all. He should at least. This is not. This is a rare moment when somebody get a second opportunity like this. So yes, I believe he should take full advantage of it.
We'll definitely see what happens, and it's a definitely interesting situation. Popping up all over the place. As moving on, I do believe it was the main. No, after this, well, probably one of the more interesting moments of that night. Eva Cyanide, Eva Cyanide taking on Ivy Pines, and it was Cyanide who got the victory. I mean, what do you think about that?
That was an interesting. She got the victory. She's showing that yes, um, she's just not a big player. That she's serious to follow her career. Definitely looking forward to see how she'll turn this opportunity and what she'll make of it. Will she move forward or stay stagnant? We'll definitely see what happens.
Yeah, it's a very interesting situation, and this makes things even more interesting when it comes to the Starlight Championship, because we already know, of course, Switchblade Rage, who was unfortunately able to make it here tonight. Switchblade Rage, who already has the number one contendership for the Starlet's title, but we also got Samantha Young, who's trying to, push her way into the title shot, trying to take out Rage, and then we also, of course, have Cyanide getting this big victory over the champion at the end of our last season. Um, this really, what do you think situation that is putting the championship in?
Ah, um, Definitely epitome showing that competition is hot. That you cannot just stay complacent. That the champ gotta know, gotta be ready. She gotta be ready at all times.
That is definitely
Basically,
true. That is definitely true. Samantha, who was the former holder, was the runner-up in the All-Star tournament, where our very first pay-per-view, then was the winner of the briefcase, where unfortunately she was unable to cash in. And now here she is trying again, this time being maybe a little bit more forceful with her approach. Of course, and then we have the number one contender, and then we have Cyanide. I mean, just so many women just really trying to push their way to get to this title. Definitely, maybe makes the champion even nervous.
right, definitely.
Well, we definitely hope to see. Can't wait to see more of this, and we'll definitely with the start of action we'll be seeing tonight. Moving on to the main event, we had Fallen Kingdom, of course, with the champion himself, Dylan Travis, taking on a very interesting three-man team. It wasn't what it should have been, as it was originally booked to be Baltimore's finest with Crypto, but due to Malcolm Black being not Malcolm Black, Michael Carter, excuse me, Michael Carter being unable to be found, he was replaced by Six Machiavelli, which made a very interesting three-man tag team. But unfortunately for them, it was Fallen Kingdom. Now, with this did you think that the team of three different individuals had a chance against Fallen Kingdom?
Um, I think so. We'll definitely see. But I think so for sure.
Well, unfortunately, it did end with Fallen Kingdom. Now, of course, we do know Crypto. He still has an opportunity for the titles. It'd be interesting to hear when he's ready for that opportunity back. So I cannot wait to hear from when and he wants his rematch back for that title. I mean, we know he was able to beat Lance Romance due to even though Lance was already a bit hurt. We know he was able to defend it one time in a steel cage against Caleb James. He was as we do know he was unable to though in Ragnarok. Do you think he can get it back from Dylan Travis?
It's possible. You never can say never, so it's definitely possible.
We'll definitely have to see how this ends up playing out as we're now going to move on to our today's show. And I guess what a show is going to be. We're starting things off. We're going to be seeing a new face, a new heavyweight of our division. He calls himself the Tank, Don Darnell. Darnell's, I hope I am saying that right. Going up against the newly named Tiny Boy. He calls himself Joshua James Undertaker. Seems that Tiny Boy has a very big, much different attitude after maybe I don't know maybe it came after his loss in that at Ragnarok, but he's even talking a lot more now. Now this once again another situation of David versus Goliath, and we already know Tiny. We saw Tiny getting the victory over Shogun. How do you feel Tiny will fare against this debuting powerhouse?
Ah, yeah, you're looking at this powerhouse. I'm definitely going to see what happened. Uh, definitely gonna have to give it all. I haven't seen this new powerhouse fight yet, so this be my first time seeing them personally. So the outcome could be for me anywhere. It can goes anywhere to see how it happens.
Well, definitely be interesting. Now we know, Tiny Boy, or Joshua, however he would rather be called. We know he has experience being, I believe, the smallest man to fight of our roster to fight up against bigger people. Do you think he has the ability to defeat this powerhouse, or do you think this man will be able to get the big victory on his debut?
I think anybody is, it's like any given Sunday down there. I think he had the ability. Everybody had the ability to do their thing for sure. So I can say you have a chance to do it.
All right. Well, that definitely interesting, and I cannot wait to see what happens here soon when we go live with All Star Wrestling. Moving on, Starlet Division. Riley Marie Borlée it will be facing off against the Watcher Dawn Knight. Both of these women are bigger than most of the women of our roster, so it's pretty much two powerhouses going up against each other. Riley remained undefeated in our last season. And I mean, we've seen how she can be. I mean, in her one of her first matches, she defeated a she defeated somebody with her finishing move, but in a much more brutal way. She punched her right in the back of the head, which we haven't seen her ever since that Kate. We haven't seen that woman ever since she did that. So we know Riley has a bit of a mean streak. Do you think Dawn, who was unable to get any victories last season, will be able to make a big change here and get a victory over someone who's willing to do something so brutal?
Yeah, definitely going to make a change. I think she'll be able to. I think she'll be able to make the change to be more aggressive. Wrestling is pretty much is like when you got two people in that ring. You got to turn that mentality on where you got to be aggressive. That knife has got to go. That caution has got to go. You got to throw everything in the wind and give it all you got.
Well,
And I think that's what happened.
Well, definitely hope that that will be the case, as we already know Riley is very much willing to do whatever it takes to win, and we'll see how things go from there. As we move on, the first tag team match of this division. Now, of course, we do know due to how the game is, we will be seeing tag team matches in tornado style until things get better. But we will be seeing the first tag team match, we will see SCV taking on the Core. Who do you think? Who do you think you would give the win to in this?
Uh this should be a good match, but to be honest, I think the core will win this. I could be wrong, but as of right now, I'm looking at core is ready to. They came up short last time against Alpha, but I think after that match, they might see what it takes now to get to that extra step.
Yes, we do know SCV had one of probably the more memorable moments of that fatal four-way tag match when after Coda got eliminated, uh, his partner Kyle Young, he just kept fighting. He refused to let go. He tried to hold the flag for his team as long as he could. And I do believe he was the last person to be eliminated before it became a 2-on-2 between Alpha and the tag champions at the time. So I mean, Kyle Young definitely was much more willing to show that fire to try and get the victory all by himself. So let's hope that maybe he continues bringing that, and maybe it could be the first tag victory for SCV.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on, we have our
Oh,
next.
sorry. Excuse me, quick. I was
Uh,
in the locker room and something's come to my attention. There, I hate, but Violet Edwards right now thinks her team deserves a rematch, and I need you to explain to me how. Cause a lot of girls are saying, and it angers me. It really puts a boil in our blood. Talk about how I'm hiding behind my title, and how me and Amber don't deserve it, and how we get handed everything. That's the most thing that makes me mad. How we get handed everything. ASW, I need you to tell the rest of these women in the locker room, tag team in the locker room, to just tell them simple as this: we are champs, and they need to get over it and step up.
Brad, Mr. Blackson, I mean, this is your. What do you have to say about this situation?
Well, you know how I am. You know, I'm a fighting. You know, I've been in the business long enough. I fought long enough, and I've always been a fighting champion. And if to shut people up is to beat them, and I never hide. I take on all challenges. That's just me. That's how I roll. Um, Sometimes you have to be like that. You have to put your stuff on the line. You know, you can't hide behind champions, and if they think they're the best, put their stuff out there. Like I said, we're gonna have the three tournaments, the three tag teams, and then once they find out who the number one contender is, they'll be proven if they got the stuff or not when they defend it.
Well, thank you. I really hope the team of Super Kick Party wins because I want those two for our challengers. Best luck
Uh,
to all you ladies in the match. I'm sorry to interrupt. Keep going. Lovely show.
Oh,
but
definitely.
I do have something to say. That the Birds of Prey, they are worthy competitive, and they will be in that tournament. Violet Edwards is one of the toughest ones I know out. So it's definitely to see what's happened. I'm looking to see what happened. Who's gonna come out on top? So best luck to the ladies out there for sure.
You heard it there. BOP will definitely be in this tables match, and we will see how things will go. Oh, and now speaking of the women's, one half of our women's tag champions who just showed up, we'll be seeing her face off against Yasmin and Dominez in a very interesting singles match. It's been a while since we've seen Yasmin. She is a former member of this roster who did return, and she's had a not the worst comeback. She's had her wins, she's had her losses. What do you think of victory? Even though this is a tag champion, what do you think a victory over Atami would do for Yasmin?
It proved that look, Yasmin win this. It shows. Look, I'm here. I'm ready to fight too. Like follow the creed, the Warriors creed. You know, I'm here to throw down. No question asked. Um, you know, take names, kick ass. That's basically that was the show that she could do.
Oh, very interesting. It will definitely be interesting how this ends. Especially with everything going on with the tag team division and everything. Moving on to our next males match, we have a, a very interesting one. Eric Rose will be taking on the former All Star Wrestling champion Crypto. Of course, who Crypto? Both of these men who have up and coming title opportunities. Crypto with his rematch, Eric with his victory in the triple threat that gave him the shot for the title. I mean, I mean, these two clash, and what do you think? What do you think would happen when? What do you think is going to happen in this situation?
Explosive, war, carnage. That's what I'm looking for. Definitely be happy to see it. Um, gladiator style. That's what I see.
Now, both of these guys, they both want. Of course, they both want the champion. I mean, and do you think this might be the last time that they see each other in the ring?
Um, oh, I doubt that seriously. Doubt that seriously. Yeah, I won't be the last time.
Yeah, definitely, of course. Both of these men, we don't exactly know when they'll be wanting their title shot. We both know they want the same man, but the question is, who's going to get to Dylan Trias first? Will this match maybe determine who gets to the champion first? Only time will can tell. As
Definitely.
we move on to our co-main event, going back talking about the BOP, Birds of Prey, we'll be seeing Samantha Young taking on Leah Nightwalker. We heard her husband, who is very confident who is very confident in in her abilities to win this match. What do you have to say?
Uh, that would, like I said, that would be nice to see. Um, I know both competitors. They never hold nothing back. I think they'll leave everything out and into the ring, and this should be definitely an interesting match.
Well, that is a definite, and of course, now with Samantha, with what she's done, she tried to take Outrage at Ragnarok. It didn't exactly go her way, and then the brawl that happened on our previous show. I do believe it was on our previous show. We had Samantha Young and Rage. I'm not exactly sure who started the fight, but in the end, it was Samantha who put Rage down. Do you think Samantha isn't going to be focused on this match because she might feel that Rage might come out there and do something?
I don't think so. I think she will come out there and do her thing like she normally do. I think she will come out there and do her best and go at her 100%.
Now, I do have to say about Rage. Now, of course, we know BOP. They're a unit. They got each other's back. Do you think Rage? Now, do you think it would be smart for Rage to continue trying to fight against Samantha, knowing that she could get the other two members involved, and it would be a 3-on-1 situation?
Yeah, I can see that, but I think they keep it cool. I think they will. I think it'll be a straight up 1-on-1 fight on this one.
Well, only time will tell as we see as
Definitely.
thing goes on. And now moving on to our main event, I just want to get straight into it. The champion, the openweight champion, the first ever and only, and I believe also longest reigning two-time champion, uh, the Premier Pretty. Well, what is your thoughts about him? I mean, he had the moment where he last minute out of nowhere, he decided to drop his rematch clause, which may have been the reason why he got the title back because he threw his opponents out of the loop. They weren't expecting the match, and then he's dropping this open weight challenge, but he's refusing to make it for the title. He wants it to just be just to fight people. What is your opinions on this man?
Very arrogant. Very, very arrogant. But at the same time, it works for him. He's been dominating. He's been taking on challenges. He don't run or hide for nobody. He takes on all comers. And if you don't like a person the way he is, the best way to do is beat him down and shut him up. But to his avail, ain't nobody out there that's really doing that to him.
Uh,
So yeah, it works for him.
I mean, yeah, that is true. Of course, we had Six Machiavelli who did beat him in a non-title match, but unfortunately, Six was unable to get the title when it counted, and which meant that which led to him getting his first loss. We also, of course, the only other time that a big loss happened for Premier Pretty was when he lost to Coda when he lost the title for the first time, but then got it back at that triple threat. Now, with that being said, do you think there's anybody on this roster? Now, of course, will be seeing Max Maximus. Last time, one of the biggest moments we saw from Max Maximus was him becoming maybe a hairline away from defeating Six, being the first man to do it before Premier Pretty. Do you think Six has what it takes to do not only what Six did by beating Premier Pretty in a non-title match, but also beating him in it for a title if it ever came to it? Do you think Max Maximus can do that?
Yeah, definitely. I think if he go that extra step, I think he could. He might be the next big thing. Um, if he could take on Premier, I think he could do it. It'd be a match to see because Premier definitely will not back down. He might be a pretty boy, but he will scrap with you.
Well, it'll definitely be interesting to see how this goes. It's been a great show. I mean, do you have anything you would like to say? Any like final words?
Nah, no. Just looking forward to see what happened next.
Yes, of course. No words on when the pay-per-view is, but I'm sure there'll be talk about that soon. We also, I mean, we have a great card tonight. Now the champions know where they stand. If you don't defend if you don't get that first title defense, you don't get a rematch. If you have gotten to do that, then you get a rematch. So the champions now under a lot more pressure. We got now a six woman tag match going on next week where we'll be seeing three teams go at it in a tables match. Winner faces the tag champions, and BOP of course feels that they don't that match is unnecessary. That they should just be getting a title shot. Do you think that they're right about feeling this way?
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, I think they are.
Well, or they'll still be in the match. The match will still happen. Only Lord knows what would happen if they didn't win. Do you think that they would just go on a complete tear if they couldn't get the victory in that triple threat?
I think they would, and something I would like to see too. I
Yeah.
like to see if they don't win. I like to see the passion of fire that they not going to stop right there. If they don't win, that they're going to, keep going.
Well, it'll definitely be interesting to see. And I can't wait to see everything else going on with all the things that we've heard. So it seems that we'll be and now we'll be moving on here in a few moments. We'll be moving on to to a great show we're going to be having here tonight with great matches in this new season here on 2K20, and I cannot wait to see what it comes out of this. I hope and I will see you all here in a moment as we move on into All Star Wrestling.